so the second question is, find the revenue function R of Q generated from selling Q items. When you read such a question, what I want you to think about is the following. I have a relationship between the price of the commodity and the quantity that is being produced. The question is, how does this relate to revenue? If you want to go back and think about what revenue is the amount of money you generate from selling a certain number of items. So for example, if you have a store that has markers, all of the markers are priced at the same price P, then you're selling on a daily basis a certain amount of markers. How much money would you have at the end of a certain business day? Think about it, pause, and come back in a few seconds. Now that you are back, I'm pretty sure you figured out that the number of items that is being sold, in this case Q, and the price are both related to the revenue in a direct way. You find the revenue by simply multiplying the amount that you're selling. How many items are you selling? In this case, it's the quantity Q, by the price per item P. And so basically, R of Q is going to be simply P multiplied by Q, where P is the price of one item and Q is the number of items sold. Of course, we have two variables over here, P and Q, but I already know that P is related to Q, and so what I'm going to do is replace P by its expression, 1000 divided by 5 plus Q multiplied by Q. And here I would like to point out to two common mistakes that students tend to make. The first one would be canceling out Q with Q. I say that this is not correct. Can you find out why? Pause and come back in a few seconds. I'm pretty sure now that you know that you've came back, that you figured out that simplifying Q by Q over here is not feasible for a reason. When I want to simplify a fraction, A times B divided by A, I can do so whenever there is a multiplication. So I can cancel A with A over here, or I can do so whenever there is a multiplication in the denominator. I can cancel A with A. Never when there is an addition or a subtraction. The second common mistake I would like to draw your attention to is when I multiply the Q over here with this fraction, 1000 over 5 plus Q. What occurs is that some students think that the multiplication is for both the numerator and the denominator. And so they write the answer as 1000 Q over 5 plus Q times Q. And again, I say this is not true for a reason. Can you come up with the reason for that? Well, I'm pretty sure by now you figured out that when you multiply a fraction, A over B, multiplied by any numerical value, let's call that C, where all of those stand for numbers, then this is similar to saying A over B times C can be written as C over 1. All numbers can be written as the number divided by 1. When you divide it by 1, you get the same answer. And now you have something like a multiplication of two fractions, and so this is A times C over B times 1, which is basically B. And so the result for this is simply multiplying the numerator by Q, and we get 1000 Q over 5 plus Q, which is the revenue function as a function of Q.